This variation of the squat is something called a quad squat, a cyclist squat, or technically a heels elevated back squat. For those of us who want to build bigger quads or focusing on strength, this is a great variation for those who maybe have trouble using a full back squat, because what we're doing here is we're raising the heels in order to allow more range of motion. The ankles are not a limiting factor, and the torso position is not a limiting factor. If you've done the back squat, especially heavy or for many reps, your low back gets extremely tired, sometimes before your legs do. So what this positioning does is it allows you to keep your torso upright and keep the pressure in the quads. When we set up for this, we're gonna step back, raise our heels. You don't have to use a prime wedge like I'm using here. You can set 2 10s under your heels. You can use weightlifting shoes called lifters. You can use those. And then even put 2.5s or 5s under your heels. Figure out which one works well for you. I like a much higher heel. It allows me to really drive through the quads. Your feet are gonna be placed 4 to 6 inches apart, and the toes are gonna be forward. Normally when people back squat, their toes are out in order to make room for the hips as you push the knees out. That is not necessary on this variation because the heels are elevated. You can just sit straight down onto your calves. This also allows for more range of motion in the hips, so you're able to get lower without having to lean forward so much. So this allows you to just kind of sit on top of your hips and drive, keep the pressure in the quads. We're not going to focus as much on the glutes with this one because we're not leaning forward. We're not getting as much stretch in the glutes. Let me just tell you, your knees going over your toes is not bad for your knees. It's biomechanics. If your body is able to do it well, there's no danger in it. The danger comes in when people do it poorly or they try to load this type of movement too heavy, too quickly, and the muscle and the structure is not built in order to handle it. Start with body weight, see how it feels, give it a shot. Talk soon.